So this week, guys, we're going to cover back, but ultimately focusing on back thickness. So my back was one of my weakest muscle groups, and just like my legs, I found that if I split up the exercise selection, so one of the workouts more focused on creating that width in my back, I then split that into a second workout that was focused more on bringing that thickness to the back. So we're going to be doing a lot of rows, we're going to be doing a lot of pulls, we're going to ensure that we get that back to basically get a good pump. And now what I found with back especially, there's so many different intricate muscles in the back that we're going to be hitting that from different angles. We're going to be focusing on different rep ranges and ultimately making sure, for me, I've got best results from my back by actually getting the load right. I feel that when the weight is too light, I don't get as much of a contraction in the back. So we're going to start off the back workout with dumbbell single arm row. So dumbbell single arm row is one of those exercises that a lot of people tend to use a lot of momentum for, but I found that just isolating that a wee bit more by having the bench in a slight incline, driving that elbow on the bench, that just ensures the back's nice and straight. We're not going to be able to use as much momentum, so we can just drive. And just like the most of the exercises that I will always tend to do, probably the start of the workout, you're going to find you're going to be, as the weights are going to increase, you're going to find that you're going to add more load, so the rep range is going to come down. At the start of every workout, probably using a slightly lighter weight, doing a bit more volume, a bit more reps, getting the muscle well warmed up, getting that blood flow and circulation in there, and then being able to then actually load weight on the muscle when it's warm is going to put you at less risk of getting injured. And the good thing about this exercise, as long as you've not got a lot of rotation, you're not going to find that you're going to get a lot of pressure in that lower back. And by keeping that arm or that elbow fixed on the bench, it's going to stop you rotating as much, which means that as the dumbbell goes down, you're going to get a bigger stretch on your back, whereas if you're able to rotate, you're not going to get as much of a fixed stretch in the back. I'm now going to increase the load as the sets go on. That left side is definitely weaker. Getting a good 12 solid on the right, only getting 8 on the left. Take a wee bit of a pause and I'll get the remaining 4 out. And that's the first exercise done, back. It's feeling good. I've got a good stretch, got a good pump, blood flow's in there, circulation's good. So we can now move on to more compound exercise, bent over barbell rows. We're going to do this with an overhand grip, and we're going to go into that 90-degree angle. If I was to focus more on the lats, I'd be going in more of a 45-degree angle with an underhand grip. So that's the difference between those exercises. So we are more focused on thickness today. So we are going to go on an overhand grip, slightly shoulder width apart. Okay. Chest out, shoulders back, 45-degree angle, 90-degree. And because you need to use your core to keep your back tight, because you need to basically load the weight onto your glutes and your hamstrings, your full body is getting incorporated in this exercise. Really tends to take your breath away, and because the back is quite a large muscle group, fairly demanding in terms of calorie load, CV fitness, muscular endurance, muscular fitness. So really starting to feel my back. Now that all that blood's in there, all that pump, especially when you do switch to a more heavier load, you tend to find it's a total different feeling. And when you've got that lactic acid in that blood, you've got that pump in your back, every rep feels like a 1 rep max. Okay, barbell rows done. We're going to move on to T-bar rows. Moving on to T-bar row, which I will alternate this variation with different programs, whether I'm just doing the bar, just using a free bar, which is just an Olympic bar, in a corner, pulling that up, which if I was doing that, I would be specifically aiming to use the smaller plates because it allows me to drive my elbows further back and get a better contraction in the back. But I like to switch between free weight and machines because it gives you a different stimulus, a different feeling. And especially with the T-bar machine, you can feel that the tension is consistent on the back, and you can really feel that you're getting a good mind-muscle connection all the way from the bottom, all the way at the top. So I like to go through different variations because with the back, there is so many different intricate muscles in there. I feel like every little bit of variation is going to stimulate a certain muscle, a different angle, a different load. They all add up just to make sure you're getting that overall effect on your back. So we'll go for that middle grip. Okay. And 45 degrees. Back is feeling it all over, and again it's just keeping that tension, creating that pump, that lactic acid in the back to help stimulate new growth. So moving on to cable seated row. And it's probably one of those exercises that I get asked a lot with clients about. They see people, they kind of overemphasize the stretch and just kind of asking about the benefits or the pros or the cons. And there's nothing that I have seen that would say to me that there is going to be any benefit by focusing on overemphasizing the stretch and then getting the contraction. But for me, myself, anecdotally, just going through the kind of training itself, for me, any time that I train, if I can increase that range of motion, if I can increase that stretch and then get a better squeeze, I'm always aiming for that, because with a lot of weight training, it's going to shorten the muscle. So any time that we can find an exercise that's going to help give us an extra stretch or an extra stretch and reflex or lengthen the muscle, I always find that that's massively beneficial. So for me, I do tend to overemphasize the stretch just to allow me to kind of really open up the back. Oh, that's it. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. Oh, back, done. So make sure, guys, to subscribe if you haven't already, like and comment, and just let me know if there's anything specifically that you would like me to cover in all these different video series, because we are working our way through a different library of training exercises, nutrition, and anything that is of interest to you guys, that's going to benefit you, tips, topics, and advice, then just let me know, and I'll catch up with you on next week's video. Whew.